We're giving the body a couple of good deep breaths to start relaxing into the ground. Especially for our spines, it's really kind of nice to have something flat to press up against. It helps the muscles know that they're supported. And it helps us start to open up in a very gentle way. So starting off with these deep full cycles, just keep it flowing while we take a moment to connect with our intention. We'll be playing with those binds today. It'll be kind of a fun class. I always like it, keeping those shoulders open, getting to just allow the arms to stretch behind and clasp. So it's kind of a fun class every time we play with binds. But the big idea that we're keeping in the back of our mind is that idea of when we bind, we have to clasp together to hold it in place. And so the big idea with binding is in our lives, what are we holding on to and what are we ready to release? Life is a whole cycle of holding on to things and then releasing, holding on to things and releasing. And if we didn't ever release, if we just held on to the things that we liked, we wouldn't ever progress. Like think of a child so attached to their kindergarten teacher that they're not willing to move on to the next grade. And in that way, they're kind of holding themselves back from progressing. So life is like that. We hold on to our teacher, onto whatever it is for the time that it's useful. And when it comes time to let it go, we let it go and release it. So that'll be the idea that we can keep in the back of our mind. So just think of if there's any places in your life that it's time to hold on to something. Seems like that would be a good teacher, or maybe other areas in our life that we're ready to let go. And this can be any aspect, physical, mental, emotional, whatever. And so with that fun idea to help lead us into our practice today, let's begin. Our knees can start to come into the chest. Just be super easy on the spine for the first couple of moments. Just easy motions, maybe a little bit just left and right or knee circles. Whatever helps us to start working into the spine, helping that spine know it doesn't have to be quite so rigid. Just like our intention today, the spine can release in certain ways to make it possible to open up into others. Good. So part of binding is generally it requires a little bit of a twist. So while we're just here easy on our backs today, we're going to start off with a couple of nice twists to start getting our spine opening. Don't feel like you have to force anything too intense, but start to let the knees just fall over to an easy twist to left and let the arms start to spread open. And feel that contrast between upper back and lower back. And know that the knees don't have to stay on top of one another. You could let the top knee tilt upward to relieve some pressure, or bring it further to make it deeper. So it's all personal preference. Just let a couple of breaths flow to help these muscles start to stretch for us. Taking a good inhale, nice exhale, and then when the knees start to come up, we'll begin to tilt them over to the other side. And just keep it easy. Again, you don't have to have knees stacked if that's too much. Twist into the back and let the muscles stretch to their best ability in this way. Just by this act of holding the pose, we're actually releasing the muscles. So this is kind of a fun little balance of our two ideas, because we're including both the hold and the release. Taking another good inhale, a nice exhale, And when we come back onto our spine, hips on the ground, keep the feet planted close to the glutes. And what we're going to do is a couple of motions that are like the twist that we just did, but the top leg is going to be swinging to the side. So if I'm dropping my knees to the left, my right toes stay on the ground. They trace a little rainbow arch to that side, and then circle right back until they're planted. Then drop knees to the right, left toes circle, and return. And just take a couple of these motions. This makes it just a little bit deeper than what we were doing a moment ago, just simply by action of letting that top leg be just a little bit straight. And feel how it's almost like a rubber band, just bringing us right back to that center spot. So I personally like to do a nice exhale when I'm going over, inhale to return. Good, and let's take one more to each direction. Beautiful. Let the left foot just stay. The right leg goes up to sky. Easy grip on as we start to stretch through some of those muscles on the back of the leg. Getting our body more and more willing to be moving with us today. Sometimes I do those toe circles here. Sometimes it's much more about those deep muscles all the way on the backside. The hamstring, the calf, all those goodies. Give it a couple of good breaths. And then when we release, we're going to cross the right thigh tightly over the left thigh. And then both thighs come into the chest. We're grabbing on either close to the knees or close to the fingers. And that hip, kind of an equal chance to be relaxing for us. As our hands start to release, keep the cross. We're going to start tilting the knees over to the left. Don't feel like it has to touch down again. Just twist until it feels perfect for the muscle groups. Nothing forceful, just help. Good inhale. Exhale. Relax hips down, right foot to floor, left leg to sky. Hands are welcome to grab on to help us out. Like easy does it when we're working on some of these initial things. Especially practicing in morning times, it can make the body extra tight. Just by justice of us still waking up, getting to movement again. Whatever good things are going on, let's take another good inhale. Exhale, thigh cross over, hug it in, grabbing onto knees or ankles. And then as hands release, let's begin to let the knees tilt over to the right. Finding that perfect amount that feels helpful. Your inhale. Exhale. When the hips go back to the ground, the feet will plant about as wide as the mat. Just let the knees fall into one another. This will give the low back a little break while we take a moment for shoulder stretch. So right straight arm goes all the way across the body. Left arm hugs it in. The goal is filling a right shoulder stretch. So sometimes dropping that right shoulder away from the right ear can be helpful. Sometimes even leaning the head a little bit over to the left side will help exaggerate it even more. So just make sure you're feeling good things, whatever angles you're playing with. Inhale, let the arms open for a moment. Exhale, left arm across, hug it in. That same time, the same chance to open. Maybe we're dropping the shoulder down, maybe we want something head to the right. Beautiful. So taking an inhale, exhale, release, open. And then we'll work our way up to sitting. So you can either press your way up or maybe 2 or 3 times rolling like a ball, if that feels helpful for the spine muscles. Good. Once we're up, this easy cross-leg position. Let's drop our right hand to the right, continuing to stretch through the shoulders. Let's bring left arm up and over. And as you start to bring it over, listen to the shoulder and what it needs. So you could round forward a little bit. That'll get you slightly more to the back of the shoulder or shoulder blade. Or maybe opposite, you're kind of lifting up and then pulling the thumb back to get into the pec. It's whatever spots feel best. 2 more breaths. And easy up. Switch it out. Same type of playfulness. Inhale. Exhale to rise up. From here, we're going to imagine there's like a big wall on each side. So we're going to go through the shoulder socket, moving both arms up and back. And the idea is imagine that wall prevents you from going too far out. So it helps you to kind of keep everything squeezed together as much as you can. So it's easy to start, backs of hands together, lift the arms up to sky. And then as you trace back, try to keep it within your wall. It'll be a different wall amount for different people, but good. Release down and then reverse. Up. And forward. And again, 2 more. Up, try to keep it within, as squeezed together as possible, and back. And return. Last one. Beautiful. Right elbow under left elbow, wind the hands. The idea for this one is just to move in ways that feel helpful. So some people might take a twist. Some people might round down. Some people might lift up. Bump the elbows forward and round the spine back. There's lots of options. Just find the areas that feel tight. Try to stretch that. Easy inhale to open. Exhale, second arm under, so left. Once again, just play around for a moment, getting into some of those tight spots. Beautiful. Opening out. And then starting to prepare for our first bind, we're gonna cradle out our right leg. So bring it in, maybe all the way up to elbow crease if that's possible. Rock the hip a couple of times. But I'll start to prepare the hip section of this. Okay, and the hip feels pretty good. Place that right foot as close as you can up to the left hip. Then sitting up tall, your right arm is trying to reach those toes from behind. So I take kind of like an okay signal at the pointer finger touching the thumb, and that's what I try to get wrapped around the big toe. Got it. So then from here, keep the back shoulder pulling to the back wall. Maybe even your left hand is on the right side to help you just gently rotate open. So it's the action of opening the muscles of the spine into the twist, but especially getting that top shoulder to start stretching open. Good inhale. Exhale, start to unwind. Leave the leg here if it's comfortable, otherwise drop it down to simple cross leg. And then find the floor in front of you and just ease your spine forward. Nice inhale. Exhale, let's rise. Switch it out, so right leg is down, cradle out left. Put a couple of rocks. That hip feels pretty good. Place that left foot close to the right hip. Posture's tall. Left hand tries to grab the big toe. Once you're there, just ease the back shoulder back. The extra rotation to keep it pulling open. Inhale. Exhale, release. Let's find the floor again. Just ease our way forward. Walking the arms in, take the feet into cobbler's pose. We'll bring the hands behind us so that the forearm is resting on the thigh as we relax down. So it brings the shoulders into just a slightly different arrangement. Just relaxing open behind. Warmed up, the arms would just so far left and right, the legs would go so straight out that one day it's possible for them to drop the heart down, have straight legs, and just kind of be resting forward. It's nice and easy this early in class. Just a couple more breaths, feeling how this part affects spine, affects shoulders. even legs. Good. Taking one more inhale. Exhale, start to kind of curl back into your turtle shell to release out. And then we're gonna take knees underneath us. Let's move into cat-cow so that it's continuing to move into some of those back muscles. To make sure that they're limber for us. They're not becoming too tight. Couple good rounds, your pace. Let's do 2 more rounds. And slide back to neutral. Try to bring the left leg straight back. Maybe balance right arm forward. You can either hold here nice and still, or if balance is okay, exhale 5 times from underneath the body. Inhale, straighten back out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it this straight, or try to take hand and foot behind us. If you find the connection, push that foot up to sky to create a little back bend. Release back to straight, and then drop down. Second side, right leg, left arm. Either hold or exhale 5. Inhale, leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe hand and foot behind. You find the connection, get a little lift. Inhale. And exhale, release. Let's work our way into downward facing dog. Starting to feel the legs a little bit more willing to stretch. The spine, feeling it lift to that straight line. Lots of support, lots of stretching, all simultaneous. Good. Bring the right leg clear up to the sky. Reach the toes up to the ceiling. Coming into plank, bring right knee to the nose. And then try to step that right foot in between hands. We'll drop the back knee down, so if you need to scoot the toes a little further forward, that's fine. Hips are already sinking forward. If you have balance, we'll come up to thigh. Take a nice, easy little twist. So maybe it's just the wrist, then the other arm opens. Or if you know you want more, you could slide to elbow, taking prayer position hands. It's all up to you. Good. Inhale. Exhale, start to unwind. The front leg straightens. Let the hands drop down. Time to continue to help the body stretch. Inhale. Exhale, as this leg comes back, you've got a choice. You're welcome to just do child pose. You can go straight to down dog, or you can add a little flow. Lowering chaturanga. You go back for this time once. And downward facing dog. Left leg starts to reach up high. Take the left knee to the nose, holding in plank. And try to step. So we lower the back knee. If you need to scoot the toes forward, that's fine. So we're already sinking forward. Balance is there, maybe come up to side. Maybe just a simple wrist twist, or maybe going down to elbow prayer position. More inhale. Exhale. We'll start to unwind, straighten the leg, and drop down. Start to step this leg back. Once again, child's pose, down dog, or a flow. We hear about 3 breaths before we make our way up to the top of the mat. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. Make your way up there. Any type of forward fold that feels good, whether your hands are on the shins, whether we're bringing hands to elbow creases, just anything that feels good, especially for our shoulders and upper back. And small muscular effort there. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise, whether we're rolling up or circling the arms up, it's up to you. Good. So here we're going to start a couple of sequences. Each time we repeat a sequence, it's going to add in just slight variations. And this will be where we start to open up into some of our big binds. So the first one will be just a nice little bind prep, and then the next one will be a full bind, and we'll just keep on going from there. So always know if you want to just stick with the first version we do, that's perfectly fine. So first thing we start here, we're going to shift our weight into left foot, and right knee is gonna float. So as it's here out in front of us, if the balance is steady enough, maybe an easy twist, left hand to the knee, thigh area, right arm opening out behind. And especially focus on that right shoulder. Just keep on opening that shoulder, rotating it back. Good. Another inhale. Exhale, try to return. When we kick back to warrior 3, you can either have hands at the heart or airplane arms, whatever you like. Easy soft land, just the toes. Arms go up to the sky. From here, sink the hips a little lower, bending the back knee. And then when you re-straighten the back knee, try to keep the hips just this low. So slightly deeper stretch for the psoas. In a moment with a twist, again, you can just go wrist or you can go to elbow. Nice inhale. Exhale, unwind, back heel down, warrior 1. Inhale. Opening to warrior 2. Beautiful. And from here, this is where we're going to do the bind prep. So start with the left elbow going to left side. This right hand winds around our back. The fingers are trying to get into that left hip crease. And then we're just letting those shoulders continue to spiral open. If it's super easy, you could drop the left fingers to floor, but you do not have to. It's whatever little prep for the bind feels just amazing for the spine. Breath in, and out. Unwind the bind, get to warrior two. A moment to reverse, back fingers to back leg, stretch up and back. Good, and coming back up, cartwheel the hands all the way to the floor. We'll step back, front pose down dog or a flow. More good breaths here. Eventually making our way up to the top. Any type of forward fold, just taking 2 breaths there. Rising whichever way you like. Hands to heart, second side, standing on right foot. Start to float the left knee. Staying is fine, or twisting. Holding the thigh. Keep that left shoulder just rotating open. Return, warrior three, maybe hands at heart or maybe airplane. Land just the toes, arms up by the ears. Bend the back knee to sink a little lower. And try to stay that low as you straighten the back. Good. Either hook just the wrist or slide to elbow twist. Back heel down, sweep up to side, inhale. Exhale, warrior two. And then taking that breath, the elbow can drop down. The left hand winds around the back, trying to get into that hip crease. And then especially the top shoulders rotating open and pulling back. Again, right fingers don't have to go to the floor, but that is an option if you want it. Inhale. So release, warrior two. A moment to reverse. And cartwheel down. So we our last little flow, stepping back, maybe chaturanga. Making our way to the top of the mat. Just one inhale when you get there. And exhale. And then inhale to rise. Second sequence, right knee floats up. Maybe stay forward, maybe the same gentle twist, rotating that back shoulder open. Torso forward, step this foot down, sit back into chair, and we're either hooking the right wrist or the right elbow. Gazing down in front of our front foot. Start to shift your weight into left foot. When you don't have much weight on the right foot, slide it back. Good. Release the torso, back heel down, arms sweep up to sky. Clasp both hands behind our back. Pull the shoulders open as we bow forward. Hands down and release. Roll the spine up. Warrior one. Warrior two. You can choose the same bind prep, or you can go to a full bind. The full bind would need the left fingers on the floor, so we can ease that left shoulder down. Left arm would go around, right arm would come behind your back to clasp. If you got the clasp, yep, most people kind of round forward, so then pull that top shoulder open. Just 3 good breaths. Good. Release. Warrior two, rise. A moment to take it to the back leg, reverse. Warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Triangle, left arm forward. Then left hand to thigh or shin. Right hand at first up to sky, but then feel free to take that bind prep, kind of just winding the arm around your back. Good. As we release, rise the torso. Shorten this down to hair. And we'll take a moment with half moon. Left hand going to that outside left angle. Yeah, good option. Blocks are great. And the big thing we're watching is trying to keep the shoulders stacked. Oftentimes I see people rotating the top shoulder down. Yeah. Awesome. Huge inhale. Then exhale, just let everything drop down, especially the shoulders right up at the top. You can even take a slight bend to the knees, make it super easy. Good. Rising up. Hands at heart. Left knee floats. Maybe the gentle twist. Turn. Foot down. Sitting back like a chair. This time left wrist hooks or elbow. Easy down. Shift weight into right foot, sliding left back. Release the twist, back heel down, arms sweep up. Hand clasp behind, and pull into the stretch. Drop down and release, roll the spine up. A moment, warrior one, warrior two. Maybe front elbow down, bind front, or maybe those right fingers down, right shoulder close to knee. Playing with the bind, even for 2 or 3 breaths. Top shoulder good, rotating open. One more inhale. Exhale, start to release. Warrior two. Moment to reverse. And up. Straighten the front leg, triangle. Maybe the top hand winds around toward that right hip. Release. Rise. Shorten the stance a hair. Half moon on this side, keeping top shoulder open. Another good inhale. Exhale, relax down, especially the shoulders. Next inhale to rise. Good. We've got one more sequence. This one could lead up to Bird of Paradise, but you can skip it. You could do any of those things we've been playing with. So know that you do not have to force yourself into anything. So start off, maybe kind of shake your body, get it prepared with things. So when we're ready, let's float our right knee in front. You can either stick with the same twist we've been doing or to the left hand of the foot. Allow the leg to straighten as we take that easy twist. Just one inhale. Exhale, release forward, sweep the leg down and back. Warrior three. Land the toes, go right to the twist, wrist or elbow. Out, back, fall down, warrior one. Right to warrior two. And straightening front legs to the long edge of the mat, wide angle with the hand clasp behind us. Just a couple of breaths of like this preparation for the bind to come. So feel your heart rate calm. Just a slow inhale. Slow exhale. Hands down, let's rise. Front toes back forward, bending that knee. Bind prep or full bind. And this is where you could just stay. If you're solidly in the bind, maybe the back foot pops up to the top. Your standing foot would be right foot. So left heel lifts, getting less and less weight there. I usually make sure my gaze comes up with me, so I'm ready to start rising. Good, you can stay or leg your choice. Amazing. One inhale. Exhale, drop it all. Just let the spine have some nice easy movements. Yeah, you're amazing. Okay, one more side. Now I got left knee floating. Maybe twist or maybe grab the foot. Opening up. Nice inhale. Exhale, sweep down, warrior three. Land. Wrist twist or elbow. Unwind, back heel down, warrior one. Two. A little pause, turn the toes in, hand clasp, wide angle, forward fold. Release hands, roll up. Front toes forward, front knee bent, maybe prep or maybe full bind. Maybe back foot hops forward. Less and less weight into right. One smooth motion. Maybe extending, it's not necessary. I'm so happy you're here today. Good, release. Nice and easy. Let that spine just relax. Beautiful. So we'll go into Malasana. You can use blocks if you want to just be more restful right now, or you can go into the full squat. We'll play with some binding. So know that you can skip it. If your shoulders are like right about there, that's okay. But if you're doing okay, what you can start to do is drop right shoulder closer to right knee, right hand down. Left hand reaches up, and then we wind it around the back. That would just be the prep. Or right hand around the shin to bind. You get it? Keep that top shoulder rotating open. Nice inhale. And just exhale, easy to the center. Nice and tall. You're ready? If you're doing second side, left shoulder down, left hand down, right hand to the sky or prep. Left hand around the shin if you're taking. Shoulder opening. Inhale, that's okay. Exhale, release. We're heading down anyways in just a moment. So go ahead and head back to plank and then just lower to belly. Elbows underneath the Sphinx. We'll take just a super gentle kind of restorative sequence. So start taking your right knee up close to your right shoulder. Give the low back just a breath or two here. This kind of shifts things around. And then we're gonna wind the left shoulder to rest on the ground. Once it's there, you definitely do not have to keep that the right knee on the ground. Just start to open up the upper back to the ground, and if the knee rises, let it. So it turns us into a nice little twist, but it's not like we're forcing. This is much more of a restorative twist to help us wrap up. Just making sure the low back and the hip are kind of resetting themselves. Nice inhale. Exhale, the leg comes next to the other as we start to return out into Sphinx. And the left knee floats up at the side. Good breath or two. Starting to bring the right shoulder to the ground. Spiral the upper back open, lifting up the knee a little bit. Releasing the leg next to the other, flop onto your belly. And then take a child. That was it. We'll play with the tortoise one more time. So the knees significantly bent out wide. The hands walking under the elbows under the knees. And then think of this, the same time the hands are inching wider, the legs just kind of straighten out a bit. So again, we're not forcing anything. It's nothing to say we have to plop down today, but sometimes there's a little bit more space this time than the first. Just a couple bonus breaths here, letting good things stretch. As we curl in, maybe bring feet together, keeping the elbows wound under. Just a little hug for this cobbler wrap. You're welcome to stay here a bit longer. Or if there's any last poses your body wants to explore before Shavasana, take all the time you want to explore those awesome, fun last things until Shavasana, that restful pose, is the natural next thing to do. So no rush to get there. It's just exploring with your body. Body starts to prepare for Shavasana. Think of the inhale and the exhale being kind of like the culmination of all the binding we did. With our inhale, our blood binds to that oxygen. Yet with our exhale, we're still able to release, let go what no longer serves us. So when you get toward that Shavasana state, just take some of those deep breaths to get the Shavasana started. Just feeling and imagining that inhale, bind, exhale, release. Slowly starting to head out. Take a moment to deepen your inhales. And the exhales. Do some little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching it out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. That's a beautiful fetal position. A couple of breaths. Your breath 2 until you're ready to rise. With hands at the heart, it's just this easy place where there's neither binding nor releasing. It's just this perfect balance in between, reminding us that that balance is life. Life, we can't bind to things forever. If we were to grab our foot and hold on forever, or our thigh, we wouldn't get very far very fast. It'd be very awkward. But also we can't, it's not that healthy to release everything all at once. So with this perfect balance right in the middle to lead us forward to releasing and binding in our life, let's wrap up the time we shared together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Om. We be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.